Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, CFB 26 just dropped their Dynasty Deep Dive. We're going to take a look at that. You know, I do play cut. I did not play cut majority of 25. I've done Dynasty. I've done my 5-year rebuilds. I was a part of a Dynasty league. I did my Coastal Carolina Dynasty series. We have ended up doing a Ball State Dynasty, but we didn't really finish as much. Again, we will be doing our 5-year rebuilds in CFB 26, and we will be doing a Dynasty series on the channel. We did Pawtucket last year, too. And we'll probably do like a regular team like we did this year. So, without further ado, I'm going to present the video of the deep dive. We're going to watch it. We're going to react to it. And then there's also a blog that we will take a look at. So, I'm going to mute my mic, and I'll, of course, when I want to make a note, I'll unmute my mic, and we'll discuss it. Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Kirk Herbstreit. Improvements to Dynasty and EA Sports College Football 26 are focused around adding authenticity to every Dynasty run, while also delivering on community feedback. For the first time ever, you can start your Dynasty by stepping into the role of one of over 300 authentic college football coaches. To ensure each coach and coordinator's authentic styles are highlighted, we completely rebalanced archetypes and abilities and enhanced playbooks.
The archetypes are reboot. I just have a question here.
We completely
it looks like they did something with the coaches' points. I don't know if this is the head coach or offensive coordinator he's on, but look at here. You have 8. It was last year, it was 5. They upped it to 8. So we'll see if they'll probably explain it. But interesting note, because last year with the head coaches, the customized coaches, you weren't able to max everything out like the CEO and stuff. We'll see if they change it. I'm going to let it play, of course. So let's play.
Rebalanced archetypes and abilities and enhanced playbooks with over 2,800 new plays. So when you battle a CEO like Kirby Smart one week and a program builder like Lane Kiffin the next, you truly feel the difference on the football field. This like Lane Kiffin the next.
I wanted to move my camera here if I can. So it does say Lane Kiffin program builder archetype. So it looks like the CEO and the program archetype may be something different. Let's let it keep playing.
Next, you truly feel the difference on the football field. This new depth also offers more options when creating your own coach, giving you more control over the path you ultimately take. A new progression curve.
More uniform or more shirt selection. We've been asking for that. Damn shame there's no hats or glasses. Maybe that is a thing. We'll have to wait and see when we get the game, but kind of surprised no hat and glasses. Maybe there is, and I haven't seen it. We haven't seen it yet.
You more control over the path you ultimately take. A new progression curve offers early career momentum with more sustained growth across a new level cap up to 100. Of course, no coach.
Up to a level 100 cap. That is a big dub. I was saying it in the beginning. Last year, you weren't able to max everything out, which was, what I guess no coach should be good at everything. I like that. I think they changed it around so that way you can probably get a lot of stuff. Because I remember like the program builder and like the CEO and stuff. I never got that in my 5-year rebuilds, I'm pretty sure. So maybe we can get it this year. Level 100. Again, it's a video game. I think we should have control over whatever we want to do. And I think there will be a lot of different coach builds. I like this level 100. I think they may have upped the points. So big dub there.
Coach excels at everything. So hire coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses.
There it is again. They say no coach is good at everything. So they may have just, I'm sorry about the glare. I don't know why there's a glare right now. Maybe it's my blinds. Again, they just said it. No coach is good at everything, so you got to hire coordinators. I don't know why there's a glare right now. It's kind of upsetting me. Maybe I'll push my camera back a little bit, or I'll have to shut my. Let me shut my curtain real quick. Sorry for this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me shut that. Maybe that gets rid of the glare. But yeah, no coach is good at everything, but they're at level 100, so maybe we'll be able to access more stuff. Again, the coach builds. I like the idea of level 100. because you can get much more different coach builds for especially an online dynasty. So big dub. Of course, you got to hire coordinators that do stuff too. So yeah.
There are coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses. And make sure to leverage your staff's active archetype perk to really accelerate your progression.
I'm sure Kirk Herbstreit's going to talk about it. Can we upgrade offense and defensive coordinators? Is that what's going to be allowed to happen? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Now, here we go. Archetype rebalance. Explain it, Mr. Herbstreit.
Updates to how coaching archetypes are unlocked, balanced, and expanded make each coaching path even more strategic and distinct. All 3 base archetypes now require a minimum coach level to unlock, promoting focused early investment and making your initial archetype choice more meaningful. New scaling archetype costs encourage more intentional choices as you progress. Now, advancing within your specialty, like moving from recruiter to elite recruiter, is more affordable than a path that requires learning a new skill set.
From what I got from that, I'm still confused. We'll have to see how it works. I do like the idea of whatever coach you select, whether it's tactician, motivator, recruiter. I love that the cost is cheaper to like get it to like the next level. I do like that there it should be cheaper. I mean, honestly, I think last year you had to spend what was it? Was it like 15 points or something like that? If I can go back and rewind it, does it show? Oh, so it's 10 now. Okay. I like that little change. We'll see we'll see how it works. But yeah, I like that change.
Is more affordable than a path that requires learning a new skill set. Preserve your dynasty legacy with the all-new trophy room. Showcase every trophy, title, and individual award won throughout your coaching journey, and look ahead at what coveted hardware you still need to strive for. The new college football history feature serves as a college football history book and lets you compare your program to the all-time greats, adding a new dimension of legacy building to Dynasty.
I love the trophy room. I do. I wish it was in last year's game. I like the history. I like that we can go back in our dynasties. So if I'm doing a 5 rebuild or whatnot, I love the idea because I do 5 rebuilds. I would love to see what I won with what team. I also like the history because if you're doing an online dynasty with your buddies, you can now see history. The one question I have is, you know how it showed on the trophy screen right here, Steve Sarkisian, Kyle Whittingham and stuff. My question is, what happens if you make a custom coach? Are you still going to be able to see those achievements or whatnot? I mean, for the dynasty aspect, because I'm probably going to do custom coaches for my 5 rebuilds, but we'll see how that plays out. We'll see when we get the game. So, yeah, I like the trophy room. That's a big addition. I like that.
A new dimension of legacy building to Dynasty. We've revamped the transfer portal to create more realistic player movement, especially among the 4- and 5-star players. Now, from 2,000 up to 3,500 athletes can enter the portal each season, giving you fresh ways to build your roster year after year. New dynamic deal breakers are player expectations that evolve with their talent. That 3-star freshman who is happy with average facilities? If he's an All-American by junior year, he might be looking for top-tier amenities. And whether it's listed as a deal breaker or not, your most talented players may still demand playing time. Some coach abilities can impact that.
I like the addition with the transfer portal and stuff, because after the first 2 years with the transfer portal, people have been saying it, and I agree with it. The transfer portal falls off. I like the dynamic deal breaker. So maybe, you have a 3-star, like Herbstreit said. Maybe he wants playing time, and you play him, and then junior year, all of a sudden he's like, I want to be a championship contender is all of a sudden his deal breaker. You know what I mean? It could be kind of annoying for when I do 5-year rebuilds. Of course, it could be annoying when I do that, but it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm excited for that. Let's see what the coaches have to. So the transfer portal, big dub, a lot of players entering it. I like that. Dynamic deal breakers, like that. I like those two changes. So let's see what the coaching archetypes are.
May still demand playing time. Some coachability.
And that's another thing I want to comment at. So if a guy has playing time as his deal breaker, right? And it's all of a sudden, what if if a guy, this is the one thing I have a question on. Maybe you can answer in the comment. So if I have a guy who wants playing time, but if it's a 5-star quarterback and he has playing time, okay, and he's the starter, is he still going to demand playing time? And then at the end of the year, is he going to transfer? I hope that's not the case, bro, but maybe I'm confused on that. Here we go. Coaching archetypes.
Can impact dynamic deal breakers, providing strategic recruiting advantages. New dynamic providing strategic recruiting advantages. New dynamic dev traits have a bigger impact on player growth, along with more abilities across 59 total player archetypes for better variety among athletes. And skill group levels increase from 10 to 20, so progression feels more gradual and realistic. Recruiting.
Before we get to recruiting, this is a big dub, dude. The development, did he say the development traits matter this year? Because I remember in some 5-year rebuilds where I would get an elite quarterback dev trait and they would not grow. I remember, I don't know what one. It was one of my 5 rebuilds. I got an elite 5-star quarterback and he didn't even start, I don't think, because I think like either the 4-star or the 3-star jumped him in the board. I do like that change.
More abilities across 59 total player archetypes for better variety among athletes. And skill group levels increase from 10 to 20. So progression feels more gradual and realistic.
Nice change. I like that.
Recruiting visits now involve location-based costs. So the further a prospect lives from your campus, the more recruiting hours a visit costs. This simulates an authentic recruiting challenge faced by smaller programs who must focus locally, while powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create.
I fucking love that change, bro. I love it. So if you're a small school, you're going to have to maybe go more locally to your pipeline. And if you're like a big boy, you can recruit nationwide. I like that. So it looks like to me, if you're California, for example, and you're recruiting a guy in California, it's only going to be a 20-point visit. Big dubs there. And if you're a California school trying to get someone from Massachusetts, let's say, it's going to cost you 40. I love that change. I always get annoyed when I was a small school, right? And I was recruiting people, whether they were locally or all over the nation. I had to spend, and you only get so many limited points as a small school. So if you're Coastal Carolina and you're recruiting South Carolina, it costs you 40 points. If you're recruiting South Carolina and then California, also 40. I like this change. Now, if I'm Coastal Carolina, I'm recruiting someone for California, it's going to be 40 points. But if I'm recruiting someone in my pipeline, I'm assuming South Carolina, maybe the Carolinas, because that's close. Maybe it's something to do with the pipelines. 20-point visits saves me 20 points. Big change there. I love that change. Round of applause. Thank you, EA.
While powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create high-stakes showdowns when multiple schools are neck and neck for a coveted recruit, and team needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know exactly.
I love that change. It was always a pain in the ass to click a right stick or whatever stick it was, and then having to go there. Now I can look at the top of the screen. I like that change a lot. The recruiting battle, we'll see how that works. I like that. I don't know what that means, but that is also a good change. You can see Wake Forest in Florida. You're Florida. You got to visit week 10, but Wake Forest is a visit week 12. Like that. We'll see how that works. I love this. This is good. The 5-year rebuilds this year are going to be electric, man. Hopefully we do all 136 schools, but this looks great, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Dynasty so far.
Needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know exactly where to focus your efforts. When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that depletes as they recover. And once it's empty, they can't seasonal health pool that
change where hold on. I love that change where if you scroll for your roster, you can see their wear and tear. Fucking love it. Great change. I like it.
Please.
I like that they've presented the stuff on the screen rather than away from the screen. You know how many times I like it because now people don't have to go so many different menus. They can see it right up there and close. Love that change. Thank you. Now let's hear the rest of the improvements, because hopefully.
As they recover. And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason. New auto subs incorporate different, can't bounce back until it depletes as they recover. And once it's empty, they can't bounce back.
So I'm assuming if your player is empty, right? If that little, if I can rewind it here, this is gonna be a long video, guys.
Pool that depletes as they recover.
It looks like here, if this little bar fills all the way up, I'm assuming it'll be red, not yellow. He'll be, and if he takes the wrong hit, he'll be out for the year. It looks like he won't have him in the offseason. So I like it. So you want to managing wear and tear? I like this. I like this. Now I'll have to see how the wear and tear works in the game. When, if you take a hit and whatnot, we still have my option.
And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason. New auto subs incorporate.
Auto subs are in the game. Let's go.
Different wear and tear strategies, allowing you to customize substitution thresholds and better manage your team's long-term usage. Within custom conferences, the new protected opponents option ensures certain annual matchups, regardless of divisional changes. Preserve key rivalries like Michigan.
I'm pretty sure last year, if you added teams or you changed the number of teams, like there'd be like certain games wouldn't be protected. I remember in my Coach K Dynasty, when I was doing it, my rivals, I was Tennessee. My rivals were Alabama and Georgia. I didn't play Alabama and Georgia every year. I like that. I like that we can protect these rivalries. And if you're in an online dynasty, you're going to play these guys. So I like it. I like the change because I think in the dynasties and whatnot, whether they were online or offline, I mean, you weren't playing if you're a Michigan, you weren't playing Michigan State every year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like that.
Regardless of divisional changes. Preserve key rivalries like Michigan versus Ohio State every year with this feature. Up to 2 protected opponents per team. New formation subs provide flexibility to assign players to specific alignments, adding ways to strategically exploit opponent team weaknesses. Take advantage of new position archetypes with up to 50 subs per team with packages that persist season to season. With crossplay in Dynasty, build your college football empire with friends on any platform. Use the Enhanced Player Hub and new Members tab to effortlessly manage your Dynasty and stay connected.
Like that change?
Pre-order the MVP bundle, including.
Overall, this shit looks good. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks fucking good. The coaching archetypes and things, I'll have to see how that works. And whatnot. We'll see how that works. And whatnot. I do like the change where if you're a recruiter and you unlock level 2 recruiter, it's cheaper to spend. The transfer portal getting an overhaul. Love that. We'll see how the dynamic deal breakers work. I love that more players are entering the portal, I guess we can say. Because after year 2, the portal was dead. So I like that as well. The dynamic deal breakers, I like that change. We'll see how that works when we get our hands on it. The player progression thing with the dev trait, again, big change. I swear I thought I saw somewhere, maybe it's in the blog, where if you have A+ athletic facilities, your guys can grow strength and whatnot. We'll see if that's in the blog there. The recruiting, love the change on the visits. My question is there going to be a way where freaking the CPU? The only question I have, I like the visit change, like the recruiting battle. My question I have is the CPU going to put visits on week 15 and 16 to whereas I can't? If you guys remember watching my 5 rebuilds, the CPU would put a visit on week 15 or week 16, and little old Greg couldn't put visits on week 15 and 16. We'll see it. That's my one question I have there. Wear and tear improvements. I like that things are on the screen this year. Protected opponents like that. The formation subs being in, love that change there. So that is, what's this? Battle for the Land of Lincoln. Whoa! It shows the wins now. Hold on. Series wins 60. Oh, I like that change. The member thing, that's all right. I'm gonna pull the blog up here. I'm not gonna read it word for word. I'm just gonna. I want to see the team builder stuff here. So I'm just gonna read through it. And actually, I'm just going to read through it, and then I'm just going to cut to when I want to speak. We have build your coach, build your program, diverse the college football world. I'm not going to read it. I'll read it on my own. You can read it on your own. Build your coach. Every decision, every upgrade, every hire helps your defined journey. Last year, we talked about length, about what we learned from studying coaches in depth. No coach is great at everything. 100% agree on that. And there's no single path to becoming a great coach. Shape our approach this year. We focus on deepening the experience, introducing more meaningful decision points, and further emphasizing that every decision matters. My question is as well, I know people brought it up in other videos, is if I, want to change my coach, instead of like restarting your whole coach, can I take points off? It sounds like you can't do that. It sounds like whatever decision you make, you have to live it. Create a coach when starting a coach. 300 authentic coaches, each one come with equipped and ability scheme playbook, archetypes and build. So create your coach? I don't know what you're saying here. If you choose to build your own coach, we added new ways to customize your appearance. Great new gear options lets you show off your drip and deck your coach out and everything from hoodie and joggers to a quick sipping jeans. If you're feeling nicey, you could brace the sidelines with a sleeveless shirt and shorts. Love that we're getting more. Love that we're getting more customization options, bro. I love that. We've also coach progression. Again, I don't want to read everything from word to word, but they have increased it from 50 to 100. I love that change. Again, I'm going to read this on my own time. Maybe you want to read it too. I'm not going to read it word from word. Progression is heavily influenced by archetype perk. We've rebalanced archetype perks to improve overall balance and create more distinct trade-offs. Among these three base archetype: recruiter, motivation, tactician. Tactician now offers the highest XP ceiling, where I think last year Motivator, was it Motivator the one that offered the highest XP ceiling? Because if you remember, if you got to level tier 3 Motivator, your players would get a boost in the offseason. So is Tactician now going to be more of the move? I always think if you're a small school, recruiter's the move, but Tactician maybe have to be the move, man. But if you only only if you're consistent. I did not see that. So if you're a Tactician, so if you're in Alabama in your online Dynasty, I would go Alabama, because if you're going to have a good team, right? And if you choose Tactician, you're going to get the highest XP soon, but only if you're consistent winning. So if you're winning, that's great. Great. I like that. Also carries the greatest downside if you're not. Consistently motivated recruiter will provide more consistent gain, but lower ceiling and maximize upside. So if you're a Tactician and you're winning, and I don't know how to feel about that right now. So if you're a Tactician and you're winning, if you go 60-0, 60-0, 6-0, and you're a Tactician, your players are going to keep getting that XP. But if you're a recruiter or motivator, you'll get consistent gain. But if you recruit like him a 5-star elite quarterback, he'll probably still be good, but he wouldn't be as good if you're a Tactician. Maybe if you have Tactician, you're winning, he gets to a 99. But if you're a recruiter or motivator, maybe he only gets to like a 91. We'll see how that works, man. The amount of XP from archetype perk now scales by archetype tier. Elite archetypes offer double the amount of XP as the 3 base archetypes. Hybrid archetypes, all that stuff, offer elite archetypes, and Program Builder CEO can offer upgrades of 10 times more XP than the base tier archetype. In order to quickly and effectively scale your coach level and power, it is that you can. Looks good. Looks good. I love that. I love it. Love the changes they made there. We'll see how that coach archetypes. To start 3 base archetypes, recruiter, motivated, tactician now require a minimum coach unlock. This change encourages more focused investment in your early career, making the initial archetype you choose more meaningful. It's no longer a quick jump between archetypes. Instead, your coach will grow into identity over time. This helps reinforce the rock, paper, scissors relationship, not just between archetypes, but also between you and your coordinators. Choosing a staff complements or counters your strengths and improvement than ever. If I believe what they're trying to say there is they want you to focus on one tier instead of like all 3, because I think last year you could do recruiter, motivator, and tactician. Like you can go in all 3. So maybe that's what they're doing now. Again, we'll have to see how it plays. I haven't played the beta and whatnot. But these are the coaching archetypes. Program builder and CEO archetypes are the expectation as a border leadership focus archetype rather than specific coaches. They are not impacted by scaling costs. Again, we'll see how this works. Talent developer there. Coach Carousel. I think Coach Carousel with the real-life coaches is going to be a lot more fun this year than last year. You now receive notification when you're oh, thank you. Thank you. Fucking let's go. I love this change. You now will receive a notification when your coordinators accept or decline job offers, as well as alerts when one is poached for new opportunity, whether they're leaving or promotion or jumping ship unexpectedly. You stay informed, ready to react. Love this change. As I was doing my 5 rebuilds, I think my coach stability was like an A+, and then all of a sudden I went to like C. That's probably because my offense and defensive coordinators left, and I had no clue they left, so it was tough for me to replace them. I love that we're adding that notification. Big thumbs there. Where coordinators playing such a specific role in your team's performance as your coach's overall development. We added 3 new program abilities that will give you more control over hiring and retention process. Forever home, your coordinators are less likely to leave for another job. Deal sweetener, coordinators are more likely to accept your job offer. Cream of the crop increases the caliber of coordination available for you to hire. Love that. Love that. You want to make, the CEO or program builder, one of the two, make them good. I want to say I'm kind of disappointed. I thought there would be some type of like with the boosters. I thought we would maybe get something with the boosters. And that was a rumor I heard a while back, that we get a rumor with the boosters and whatnot. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get that, to where I could throw money at people. Hey, I know you want to go be freaking Kentucky's offering you a head coaching job, but here's a wad of cash to stay here at Georgia Southern. Finally, staff screen. You can now view your coach previous role in their school. Love that change. I thought we could see that last year. Oh my, wait, what? Dabo Sweeney from Clemson to Alabama? Oh, dude, this Jim Mora, UConn to you. Oh my, dude, the transport, this coaching room. Coach Carousel is gonna be a lot of fun this year. Trophy room. Let's see if they say anything. As you play for Dynasty, rival bowl game. Each Dynasty you create has its own dedicated trophy room tied to your tracking every trophy you've earned for base achievements. It just looks like, so if you use a head coach, you get you have Dynasty, Road to Glory, Road to CFB, and rivalries. And you can just see by which coach. You can see when you won it. My question I have is, if I do like 136 5-year rebuilds, which I probably won't, am I going to see like the year I won it, the score, what I did? We'll have to see how that works, man. I still got a lot of questions there. 160 rivalry bowl. Each individual award trophies to collect, whether you're flexing your 5th Heisman and 3rd Natty, or just looking at legends to find a trophy. But I like this. I really do. I wish it was last year. Build your program, talent acquisition, roster management routine, forefront college football. How you approach building and keeping your roster has never been more important. The transfer portal continues to grow and evolve, becoming an even bigger force, shaping programs across the country. Whether you're reloading for high school recruiting or retooling for the portal, your success depends on how well you execute your strategy and continue to evolve with players. Same core goals in mind, making recruiting feel personal, differentiating players and regions, and making the portal even more authentically unpredictable, from the way prospects evaluate schools to how expectations evolve over time. Building a program means more than just landing. It's about understanding it, developing it, and keeping it. The transfer portal, some schools see mass exodus, others stay almost completely untouched. That's the unpredictability of the modern transfer portal. In CFB 26, we pushed fully capture the chaos that defines the era of roster movement. College football 25 laid the groundwork, but this year we wanted the portal feel. 25 did lay the ground roll. After year 3, the transfer portal was kind of meaningless. And now it's expected to see a consistent pool of around 2,000 players entering the portal. Gives you more options to choose from now. I like that. 2,000 players. Dude, how many people enter the transfer portal after the college football season? I feel like it's around that same number. So, we have now assigned star ratings to transfer prospects in college football 25. We're a star rating overall. Now the rating is more heavily influenced. For example, an 85 overall freshman quarterback will be scored higher than an 85 senior guard. Oh, yeah, I kind of like this change too, because at the same time, when you were doing the transfer portal, right, you would see, a 4-star guard, right, and he would be at like an 85, but you recruit a freshman and they're like an 80 like in the 70s. So yeah, man, a freshman, 85 overall freshman should be higher graded. I like that. I like that change there too. Deal breakers. We know about this. I'm not going to read through everything. See, here's the players leaving screen. Wait, this also prevents it. Wait, hold on. We're not gonna read it. And CFB 26 lane law should apply. 5-star prospects, highly rated players, and quarterbacks will be evaluating playing time, even if it isn't listed in the breaker. If they're not getting on the field, they would see a log jam ahead. They may decide it's time to leave. This helps prevent stockpiling talent in a way that doesn't reflect real-world behavior and makes roster management feel more dynamic, authentic. This also prevents your friend in Dynasty from being a cheese artist and redshirting every player on the roster. While even when a guy is borderline starting now, redshirting comes with a risk. Do you want to redshirt a player and limit his playing time at the risk of him leaving in the offseason due to a lack of playing time? So looks like, yeah, you don't want to stockpile talent. So if you're in an online dynasty, you might want to think about that. Do you want to redshirt a guy? I think, right. So let me get this straight. I don't know who's the big Michigan, right? So let's say I'm doing a Michigan 5 rebuild, and I say, you know what, I want to have Bryce Underwood all 5 years. So if I redshirt Bryce Underwood, does that mean he may want to leave? Ooh, that could be a spicy for a 5 rebuild, man. There. In college for 25, all day works had fixed rate requirement of B-, and the threshold never changed, regardless how good the player was in CFB 26. We now have dynamic deal breakers. The system actively reflects a player's evolving and changing expectation over time. So as players become more talented and productive, their expectation grow alongside. Makes it more difficult for some schools to meet those rising demands, and often results in player organically transfer as their goals outgrow the current situation. That's kind of what the deal breaker should be, right? We've seen the most recently with Tennessee quarterback who, as a freshman, led the team to the CFB playoff. The breakout season, he grew into a bigger name in the sport, so he did it. So did his expectation, practically. No. Practically around his blend day breaker, which increased him the following year. Let me tell you, the Tennessee quarterback you're naming, he wanted more money. That's what it came down to, okay? And he wanted more money in he was talking about sitting out in the playoff, okay? Let's get that. I mean, that's kind of what the dynamic deal breaker is. NIL space, Tennessee ultimately choose to not meet those dynamic, and he decided to transfer to UCL as well. This is one of the many stories we've seen in college play where playoff parlay. My only concern is I don't like. I wish I had money. You know, maybe I had like $500,000 I can only spend on a transportal, right? I'm like, hey, 5-star quarterback. I'll give you $500,000. There you go. Spend the budget. You know what I mean? You know, have a little fun. If your players decide to leave, abilities within the program archetype can help. Gift of gab, additional persuasion attempts, roster retain, increased chance of pursuing a player to stay. Full refund, get an additional persuasion attempt. Yeah. Program builder. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be really good, man. It helps keep your keep your players and coaches around. Transfer portal customization with dynamic max. Okay, here we go. New settings include. This is what we care about. Max transfers per team. Adjust how many. So it looks like you have settings you can control. So you have max transfers per team. Adjust how many players can transfer from a single team. 0 to 30. Setting this zeros disables the portal entirely for more traditional experience. So if you're like, you know what, Greg, I hate the transfer portal. I hate this college football landscape. I'm going to make sure every dynasty I play is have a 0. So you're not going to. So you're electing not to have the portal. I think this is fun. You know, some people, again, they don't. This may get all confusing, and they may hate it. And you can say, hey, I don't want anyone to transfer. Just shut it off. Or, you know, Greg, I love my team. I'm only going to set it to like 10 players. You know, I like if you can customize it to your own liking. I like that. That's a big dub. Transfer possibility, user teams. Scale how likely players on user-controlled teams that are transfer if their deal breaker is voided. CPU team, do the same for CPU teams, allowing you to. I don't know what this means, but we'll see. My school. Here we go. This is what I have a question with my school. We have seen in my 5 rebuilds, right? I would build like Kennesaw State into like a national championship contender, but their athletic facilities would always be at a D or like their their freaking academic procedures. If I recall, back in NCAA 13 and 14, or at least NCAA 13, the more you won, your athletic facilities would go up. Your program tradition would go up, like if you keep winning. You're also the academics prestige would go because you would win more, and I think they would get higher teachers. I don't know if that's what it is. So here we go. My school. At the foundation of every program is one question: what is your identity? The My School grades define a program is and what strength and weakness across 14 categories. It's one of the clearest separation between powerhouse programs and those so trying to find the footing. In addition to playing time improvements, we outline arrow. We continue actual snaps played. We've made several key updates across My School system to deepen realism and improve differentiation between programs. First, we rebalanced the grade curve across all 14 categories. Fewer teams now sit in the A to B range, meaning most schools will fall somewhere between D and C, creating more visible separation between the haves and have-nots and make a meaningful improvement something you need over time. One of the biggest changes in this year comes to pro potential. This is another thing. I remember in a 5-year rebuild, I had like my entire team get drafted the first year. I would have like 7 players go to the draft. And then the following year, year 2, I would have 0 players get drafted. And then everyone's like, fucking the pro potential is gone. Like, we had 7 players drafted the first year. Just because I had 0 this year doesn't mean I came in to a roster loaded with NFL talent. Of course, they're going to go to the draft. Year 2, I don't have those NFL talent. No wonder I'm trying to develop you to become an NFL talent. And I would have people transfer for pro potential. Let's read what they have to say. Previously, the grade estimated a program's ability to produce NFL talent based on the current roster. Now, pro potential is based on a school's historic draft results over the past 4 seasons, and it's tracked by position. This means you can now clearly see which schools are consistently sending talent to the next level and who truly deserves the title of wide receiver youth. Thank you, EA. Well, I don't know why this was in the game the first year. Produce talent based on the current roster. That's dumb. I love it. You have 4 the draft results of the past 4 years. So now that means if I have Alabama and my entire team goes to the draft, and then if I'm Alabama and I have a struggle year, right, in year 2, and right, if I'm making sense here, if I am Alabama the first year, I have 7 guys go to the draft, we take a step back in year 2, no one goes to the draft. My pro potential won't change because last year I had 7 guys. Big changes there. I love that change. I freaking love it. Now for 5 rebuilds, I can go after guys with pro potential and not have to worry about them transferring. We also made improvements to playing style. Yes, playing style. Thank you. I remember in 5 rebuilds, I would go after guys with playing style, and they would lock us out. And I'm simming the games. I mean, it was annoying. Let's see what they have to say. The start of the stat-driven grade tied to how your football team performs in the field. Every archetype, including the new ones added to CFB 26, has had its playing style tracking real value. Last year, so many different players types were overly relevant. I don't know what the fuck this is saying. Often leading to a small sample. I don't know what they're saying. We'll see how that works. As part of these upgrades, we have also reevaluated and adjusted the starting grades for every team to better again, I just want to know if athletic facilities are going to go up if you're winning or not. So it looks like they made changes to playing style and pro potential. I'm happy about the pro potential one. I'll see how the playing style work. Location-based recruiting. It's easier and cheaper to get players to campus when you live nearby. Driving 100 miles is very different from flying across the country. In the college for 26, we replicated that. Local location-based recruiting. I think a lot of people wanted this. The cost of visit is now tied directly down close to recruit. You see a campus making geographically I can't speak right now. Geographically a meaningful factor in your weekly recruiting strategy. The higher recruits proximity to home grade with your school, the cheaper it will be to bring for a visit. Costs can range from as low as 10 recruiting hours to near as 40. So Curb Street showed 20. So we can get to 10. That's big change. I mean, 40. If you're recruiting at a small school, guys, every point matters, bro. So if I can get a guy that's in my region, 10 points for a visit, that's a big dub. Let's see. College for 25. Visits cost 40, which made it cost prohibitive to being results. Because the campus, especially if you were working on a limited budget. Now visits are much more efficient for local regional players, but flying in a top recruit from across the country still comes at a premium. One that power programs may be able to absorb, which smaller schools need to pick their spots. CEO archetype. Again, I'm not going to read this all. Discovering the next star. Scouting is a crucial part of There's so many words on here, but I'm not going to read it all. You want to go read it all? Go. I mean, this video is already at fucking 40 minutes of recording. It's going to be a freaking 50-minute video here. Scouting is a crucial part of identifying which players fit your programs and recruits you want to go after. Coaches often refer to this finding their OKGs, our kind of guys in college for 26. We made key improvements to the scouting system that make it easier to use and more impactful as you build your recruiting board. First, we reordered the attributes displayed to our scout and ensuring the ratings across in a consistent order position. College from 25, they're often making comparing prospects at the same position frustrating, especially when they're the same ratings would appear in different spots. Depending on archetypes, now when you're comparing two players the same position, regardless of archetype, you see their shared abilities line up the same way every time. I don't know what that means. I noticed this too when I'm looking at a receiver. I need 3 receivers, and there'll be 4 receivers, and I don't know the difference. We'll see how that works. I'm tired, dude. I've been here for 40 minutes reading. All right. Second, we expanded the power of mind reader ability when the strategist archetype. Mind reader looks like it's got to develop. Again, I'm not going to read this. Let's see. So so we have a pocket passer. He has 93 throw power, 77 speed. Walker ETN. Recruiting, dude. There's so much information. I mean, I don't know if I should end the video or keep going. I think I got to power through here. I might have to go grab some water. There are moments where 2 schools walk into a close recruiting race, and it was always clear why one team ultimately won out. Both programs were neck and neck. Oh, yeah, this recruiting battle stuff where I would be Coastal Carolina and Georgia would come in at the last second. Is that what it's talking about? Now, when this one school reaches the commitment threshold and another is right behind them, a recruiting battle will be triggered. The recruit won't commit right away, and instead will set a new higher commitment threshold, giving both schools a short window to make their one final push. It's not a long extension, just enough to create space for true head-to-head finish. From that point on becomes a race. I like that change because if I was Coastal Carolina or a small school, whatever, I would have the recruit, and then all of a sudden freaking Georgia would lead me the following week. We'll see how that plays. I like that. I like it. This is when he pull out stops. It's a race to the finish line. What do you want me to say, dude? I'm not going to read everything. Recruit generator. This year, we've increased the number of recruits generated each season to 4,100, providing a deeper and more varied pool of talent at every level. As part of the expansion, we also rebalanced several key aspects of recruiter generation, including physical and mental abilities, as well as your prospects' individual rankings. My only question is, can we see overalls? No, you still can't see overalls when scouting. Okay. You'll still be able to find high-level attributes in silver or gold tier abilities, the kinds of elite prospect that can transform your program, but there will be fewer of them overall, in particular when it comes to athletes. We reduce both the quality of top-end athlete prospects and quality generator ones across the position. That means if you're going to be rarer to find truly elite prospects, but when you do, it will feel special, and landing them will be a major win for your recruiting class. We've also reworked how pitches and deal breakers are assigned to better reflect the wants and needs of players today. Glamour positions like quarterback, running back, receiver, corner, and edge rusher now put much heavier emphasis on brand exposure to better reflect their expansion around. Fuck that, bro. Because you could be able to get a 5-star quarterback with playing time or proximity to home. Why? You know what? I can't throw money around. I don't like that change. That's the one thing I hate so far. We've also rebalanced motivations, assignments, deal breakers, cross pitches to create more overlap. The goal to make it harder to immediately pinpoint a recruit's ideal pitch based around on the deal. So they want to make recruiting harder for the small schools, I guess. They want to make it harder for your boy here. We also reduced the weights and I'm not going to read it. You can go read it. Just sway or not to sway. Sway is one of the most powerful tools in recruiting, but it's also the one that most understood. CFB 26 made several improvements to make this feature clearer, more actionable, and easier to take advantage of when your school doesn't fully align with the recruits. Sway is designed for those moments when your my school grades don't match up with a prospect's ideal pitch, or when you want to expand what a recruit cares about to include another pitch that plays to your strength. A successful sway allows you to add a second ideal pitch, giving you more flexibility in how you engage with that recruit. Some cases that can unlock their third ideal pitch. We'll see how that works. I'm going to have to reread it. I'm so confused. I needed water. I need to put the air on. When you select the sway action, you need to see the possibility of the CFB for making your move, giving you much more clear. I'm not going to read this all. I'll read it later. Once a sway is successful, your visual indicators both on the left recruiting board listed and next to specific motivations a recruit now cares about. These new markers make it easy. So sway. I know what they're talking about. Hard sell and sway. I'll read it again, dude. Recruiting quality. I'm not going to read everything. I think I got to a point where I'm far out of my mind. I'll read this later. You can all read it. The one thing I want to read, there's just so much shit. There's just so much shit. It's 46 minutes. I gotta go to work soon. I can't stay here. I gotta go home. My dad with the pool ladder here. So look, training results. Here we go. Speaking of training results, this year's screen has undergone a major overhaul to give you better visibility of the growth progression of each player during the offseason. For each player, you can now see exactly how much attribute increase. Love that change. Additionally, the player model, the right-hand side, to display their weight gain. Yeah, that's right, the weight gain. That's what they were talking about on social media today. And any abilities to upgrade it, and if your develop trait is upgraded. So you can upgrade your development trait like that. Manual progression. The correct control for players' development. You can enable a manual progression in league settings. So it looks like you can develop your players manually this year. Position. Oh God, I went to the back page. Oh my God, there's just so much information. I'm not gonna. Holy shit, I can't read. I mean, I'm tired, dude. I've shut the air off for like 47 minutes. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Position changes. Key part of building a roster, but transitioning them into a new role always seamless. When a player moves to a new role, they must learn a new position and skill set. Only to direct previously what they blah 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 blah. Their skill it looks like position changes. Again, guys, it's freaking 47. If you're still here, my hat's off to you. Wear and tear again. I just want to see the team builder stubs. Get me out of here. I just want to see the team builder stuff. I know they talked about team builder, CFB history. You can see all the conference championships. That's nice. Yeah, there's just so much, dude. Where's the team builder stuff? Proof tiebreaker logic. What? I'll read this later, dude. Stat padding. I don't. Again, I'm not gonna read this all, dude. I just want new position archetype, formation subs. God, there's so much shit I don't feel like reading right now. I just want college football playoff. We will have the opportunity of experiencing the new playoff format. And so they changed the playoff format again. Fuck out of here with that shit. That's stupid. Quality of life. Looks like it now shows you the stats on the screen. That's a nice addition there. I don't know what this is. Again, there's crossplay, pre-order bonus. Where is the team builder? Did they talk team builder? Here we go. This is the last thing I'm talking about. I'm ending this video. We launched Team Builder last year. We were blown away by the creativity and the passion from the community. It was incredible to watch players not only build their own teams, but also help others bring their fantasy creations to life with templates and other assets. We love seeing everything put together. Can't wait to see what you build next. Just like Dynasty Mode, Team Builder is part of a multi-year vision for us. One where we continue to expand, deepen, and experience over time. Last year, we were about laying foundation. We launched Team Builder as a beta. Now we're removing that tag. Our team has been hard at work polishing and improving. The overall site performance. Team Builder has now completely new look, and the site is 2 times faster. If you used Team Builder last year, it was very slow. I love that it's faster. Overall render performance is greatly improved, so Team Builder will now work on a wider array of devices and lower and machines. In addition, performance upgrades. College Football 26 was about building on the foundation. We built tightener integration into Dynasty and more customization. CFB 25, you were limited to 10 custom images per team. In CFB 26, you have an upload limit of 5 MB per team, megabytes. I think that's what it is. This means you can upload many custom images and textures you want to hit that 5 MB limit, increasing your creative power. Looks like, again, I'm going to read this later, dude. Enhanced roster heading. Oh, God, shit. There's so much fucking to read, dude. God. Once whatever. Look. Okay, so based off this image here, you can set your, love that you can change that because you had to pick. So it looks like you don't have to you might have to upload it for a specific team, but at least you can change those grades. Big change there. Enhanced roster editing. Now lets you dedicate a tab and has been enhanced with deeper customization, giving you more control over each player and team. You can now edit the first name, last name, previous red shirt, high school tier rank, and deal breaker. So it looks like you can get more things on the roster. If you remember last year, we had to put the team in the game, and then we had to edit their names manually and whatnot. So it looks like this is great. You can select where they're from, I'm thinking, your development trait, their name, their abilities and skill set. Love that. Generic stadiums. We've added 3 generic high school stadiums to give you more flexibility when it comes to creating or customize your team. All generic stadiums are small to medium size and do not feature any team branding. This was another thing where you had to pick a stadium, but if you pick Miami, the Miami Hurricane Stadium, you would have Miami Hurricane branding. Pipelines, you can choose your pipelines. Rivalries, you can choose your rivalries. Post-game speech, I'm done. Okay, they put out a shitload of information. You can go read it. I'm gonna go read it later. But dude, we're 51 minutes into this video, and if you're here to the end, I salute you. I mean, dude, I'm fried. I'm hot. I need water. I gotta go help my dad with the pool ladder. Gotta go get ready for work. I'm gonna upload this. There will also be a Fiverr rebuild I'm gonna upload. They've cooked. EA Sports cooked with this Dynasty. I love a lot of the changes. I love a lot of these changes they made. Dynasty mode will be a fun mode, just like last year. I'm excited for my Fiverr rebuilds this year. I'm excited for a custom Dynasty we're going to do. I still have to figure out what I'm doing that. We're 13 days away. I don't know what my custom team is going to be, but yeah, man. A lot of updates, a lot of fun, shitload of reading. I hate reading. I just do. It's so long and boring. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. If you made it all the way to the end, I salute you, bro. I salute you. I'm going to get out of here. So have a great day. Have a great night. When you hit like and subscribe, you motivate me to keep doing it. And leave a comment. Comment down some of your thoughts. I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.